You are variant X of a person performing variant Y of a universe of an action in variant Z of a universe. If you decide have a question that's yes, no, you didn't choose to say yes.
I can think and I'm feeling fine.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day wherein it is gray and diffuse outside, so yay. I mean, we're in October. Thumbs up for that. Hopefully it won't be too warm. We've still been hitting the 70s, so yay. I slept last night with a break and been up since 5 o'clock, yay. And then took all 3 of my ADHD meds, 2 of which I'm going to be stopped taking soon. 1 because it's going to run out, and then when that's out, I dare not take the Ritalin because the one that's going to run out is the blood pressure med. So, thumbs up for that. I'm very time blind this morning, but such is life, and I have therapy today. Plus, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could leave me a comment, that would be very awesome. Double plus good. If you could subscribe to the channel, thirdly awesome. And of course, I'd like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people. You all literally help to keep me alive, and that is very, very appreciated. I know I like being alive. My pets like being alive, and that is very, very cool. Thank you so very much. It is, again, appreciated. If you would like to help me stay alive along with my pets, I do have links to the Patreon, in the video description, along with a PayPal for donations if you would like, an Amazon wishlist link with stuff like cat food and the like on it, and I have a post office box if you'd like to send me anything from postcards to keychains, whatever you like. Whatever I get, I will show off on camera. Thumbs up and thumbs up. Front loading of videos over, yay! Yesterday was a day. I didn't do a whole lot during the day, and then I just edited, and then a rent day, so I left to go my walkies early, about 4:30 in the afternoon instead of 7 o'clock at night. So I got back, oh good golly Miss Molly, it was around 7:30-ish, so I must have left later than I thought, but I got to the rental place, I paid my rent, I walked up to Walmart, I got my exercise in, I came back, and it was pretty weird being back at that time because I had free time during the point when I'm normally out walking. Thumbs up for that though. But I got the exercise done and I was doing my thinking. And as a real quick aside, I want to show this. I've shown little bits of little containers of tiny bits of cannabis. This is some of my dirt weed. This is like an ounce in some, and I say dirt weed because that's all I can afford. It's $30 an ounce, and because I am a veteran, I get it for sometimes like $2 off. And it, like I say, it's dirt weed with lots of seeds, and I have to pick the stems out, but it's all I can afford. And I go through about 5 ounces every single month, and it's all for pain because good golly Miss Molly, even when I have to take high quality, high strength concentrate for me to feel anything other than pain relief with cannabis or cannabis products. So yay, it's all for pain control because I have to go out walking or I'm not going to be able to move. That sounded weird. I have to smoke cannabis so that I can go out walkies, and staying mobile is important, otherwise you will not be able to move. That sounds better. So, yay, thumbs up for that. Just wanted to show that off. Yeah, not show it off, but point out. I've mentioned before, I mean, I smoke cannabis like a chimney for pain. As it is, oh God, my hands hurt so much. If I didn't have cannabis, I would be in a wheelchair at best, bedbound at worst. Thumbs up. Past that, I have therapy today, and that's a good thing. I always enjoy that. It's late, so this is going to be posted late, but such is life. past that, I just wanted to continue talking about like the setting that I'm working on and the cosmology, cosmic horrors, and more. Because, as I have mentioned, in a multiverse, there are a lot of universes that happen. But universes don't just come into existence on their very own, which they are shaken off by the singularity at the center of the particular multiverse. In these multiverses, like if we lived in one now, which if multiverse theory is true, which right now at our state of mathematics and sciences, we will never know. Later on, maybe there will be tests and machines for it, but right now we don't know. But there are mathematicians that believe in it entirely because the math holds up. There are other mathematicians that say it is ridiculous to even think about this. Why waste your time? We will never know. Deal with something that makes sense. But with multiverse theory, we live in a deterministic universe with no free will, because at every moment of there are units of time and small units of time and smaller units of time. In science, there is something, there's seconds and nanoseconds, and there's something called a femtosecond. A femtosecond, there are more femtoseconds in 1 second than there are regular seconds since the time the dinosaurs died until today. There are other units of time that make a 1 femtosecond seem like an eternity. And there is the smallest unit of time, I call it a Planck second, but it is the smallest possible time that can pass before the next one begins. And every single tick of the Planck clock like that in our universe, every single quark that is in our universe, a new universe is spawned for every position every quark can be in. And then, of course, it works upward because quarks make subatomic particles, and then there's a new universe spawn for every position a subatomic particle can be in. But those are part of atoms, so there's a different universe spawn for every possible position an atom can go. But they're all part of a molecule, and a new universe is spawned for every position a molecule can go. And if it's in your body, well, if it's part of a cellular mechanism, and there's a different universe spawned, and your cell, every single thing a cell can do as a whole, a new universe. Your organ, a new universe. Every decision you make on the macro, from your thoughts to the things that you do, like right now, a new universe is spawned for each individual possibility of action. That's a lot of universes. That's why I say we have no free will. Because we are just, in this particular case, you are variant X of a person performing variant Y of a universe and of an action in variant Z of a universe. If you decide have a question that's yes, no, you didn't choose to say yes. You live in the universe where you said yes. The other person that is you, they live in the universe where you said no. You have no free will. You're following a script for the particular universe you happen to be in. But at the same time, because we are living this script, we are on the bleeding edge of now. To us, it's all random. When you throw the dice on a table, 2 6-sided dice, that configuration that is going to land was determined at the very moment that our universe began. But since we are living it, when those dice are in the air, they could be anything. So even though it's deterministic, it sure doesn't feel that way, does it? But that's where all these universes come in, as well as being shaken off from the beginning, and they just become new universes that inflate, such as ours has. Now, with the coming of the cosmic horrors and the morning of the city and all of this, the cosmic horrors themselves and their attentions, they put extra heat and pressure on all of existence. This heat and pressure radiates outward from wherever their focus is. This heat and pressure, sort of in the closest to the singularity, the hottest spot, there's a little bit of the edges warp and part a little bit on reality. Joints get a little bit looser. Energy seeps out of these universes and out into the Ungabe, and then they swoop all through the multiverse, going from the Ungara to the Ungare to the Ungaden, out to the Ungadi, back. They swoop around and through the singularity in the center where the configuration of universes is beginning. In the Ungare, where it's not as hot and not as much pressure, the edges of reality really bend and warp. And out here, if the attention hits us, yeah, a lot of things can happen. Not all good, because our universes warp, energies swoop in and leak in, and ours leak out. This is why I say it's the extra universal things that happen. For my housemates are up and they're being very organic. I'm being distracted by that. My apologies. When the singularity is shaking off configurations that will pass out of that zone, and as soon as they do so, they inflate into normal universes. During that time, with all this energy that is pouring through the multiverse, these extra universal energies hit the configurations, and the energies will pour in and alter the configuration and add their own extra universal touches. Because we should not have energies from the Ongara that is far, 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 far above us in different levels of reality. But it sinks in and things happen. There are also, like in the one setting that I have, universes that will be universes that do not configure properly, and when they begin inflation, they will become stunted and die. This happens all the time. Some of them latch onto other universes and become conjoined universes, where the larger universe is sustaining the stunted conjoined universe. You can pass through them. There's nothing really there in the stunted universe. It's being held alive for no real reason. And energies flow between the two, but barely. There might be 3 doors that open up. One in the beginning, one in the middle, one toward the end. Now, what happened with the one universe with my particular setting is, as this was happening, it was going to become one of these stunted, useless, conjoined universes attached to our universe. A massive amount of extra universal energy came flowing through the center and hit that universe. So when I say massive, if you imagine the amount of universe and an energy is the size of a glass marble. From inside the glass marble, that is an infinite amount of energy. From outside the glass marble, it's only the size of a glass marble. Normal amounts of energy that pour through would be about the size of a baseball to the size of, say, a basketball. And those pour into the universes and configurations and alter them that way. This conjoined universe had the effect of about 50 Olympic-sized swimming pools of energy pouring into it. That's a lot. Now, I have said this, and it's a philosophical thing. It's like Jung or Nietzsche, I think it's Nietzsche, who had said there's a whole big thing, but when you gaze into the abyss also gazes into you. A bit of bumper sticker philosophy on that can be summed down to: you do not live in a vacuum. What you interact with, you change. But because you're interacting with it, it also changes you. You do not live in a vacuum. Everything changes, everything as you interact with it. That happens here. As the energy poured into the universe, that changed the configuration of the universe, which changed the way the energy came into the universe, which changed the configuration of the universe, which changed the way, in a big feedback loop, that all that energy poured into that particular universe, and it came out the way it did. Now, because of the way things split and change in the multiverse, out of all the possible universes, about 99.5% of them were negative. A small percentage of them were negative to neutral, and then of the ones that were left, the greater majority of those were just neutral, a smaller amount of neutral positives, and only one where it came out positive. That's the one I write about. Now, of course, the minute inflation began, it began splitting and spawning, so there are a near infinite number of this universe, but this is the original. Now, I have also mentioned of the cosmic horrors. There are power levels in the universe. In universes, we are Gokura, which is prey, numberless. There is an infinite number of universes, which means there are an infinite number of us. When you gain a little power, you become Gakire. First thing you can do is start doing inter-universal travel. Gakire translates to little predator in the Ur language of reality. When you gain power, you gain knowledge of this language that is baked into reality. The next level up is Gakiri, that is predator. If you keep going, you can enter the category of Gakiru, armored predator. There is another category, Gakira, most powerful. That is supposed to be a category that the most powerful fall into. It is a category. When Dread Amaterasu landed in the city, her sheer power level altered that. She is the Gakira. She is most powerful. It's not a category, it's a title. She warped entire realities because of that. It used to be Gakire, you would gain 25%. Gakiri, you get 50% of the language, and you begin to travel not just within your zone, but get thoughts of the other zones. Gakiru up there, you've got 75% of language. You can start traveling between your zone and the next zone. And then Gakira, you know the full language. You can travel between all zones of the universe. Now there's only Amaterasu as the Gakira. Nobody gets 100% of the language anymore. Nobody who isn't already in the Angara can travel to the Angara. So that's great, but that's the way humans and our power level look at power levels. From Amaterasu looking on, they look at the power levels as there is the Gakira, that is Amaterasu. There are the Ongakira. Those are Amaterasu's children. There are below that the Ong that they send down into a particular universe. It burrows into reality, lays eggs, and these hatch into the, Ongoka. These Cthulhu and such level monsters will occasionally recruit alien species. I say recruit because, who knows how they actually do this, but you become an allied race. These are the Goka. And then, of course, below the Goka are the Gokura. From the cosmic horror's point of view, they don't even consider Gakiru, Gakiri, Gakire any different than just Gokura. Numberless. Prey. And that's their view on it. But at the same time, the children of Amaterasu love the multiverse. It's their home. They don't want to destroy it. Even if they hate an individual universe, they don't hate the entirety of the multiverse. And of course, even after the cosmic horrors themselves finally perish, which they will at one point, this leaking of energies will not stop. The heat and the pressure of the infinite cities, continuous and infinite mourning and grief, that pressure is going to radiate out, and all universes in every zone will continue to leak these energies out of their cracks and seals. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me a comment in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my brain works. Calling up my Chrome, I hope. We have JAYY and, Ghost is still going, but if he has a cold, it easily turns into pneumonia for hamsters. I need to call up the vet today, find out how much a vet visit costs. Hokey smokes. But good to see you in the comments. Hopefully things get better for you. Micah CUEVAS, thumbs up. Thank you very much. Tommy Nelson, greatly appreciated. Tuna 1989, I like the name, thumbs up. Takadon, greatly appreciated. And boy, playing Blood and I get 4 frames a second on it. Chris, good to see you in the comments. And Ben B, thumbs up. And here's hoping I can get help. We have Mariah Castro, greatly appreciated. RJ Mitchell, thumbs up. Thank you much. Good to see you in the comments, and hopefully I didn't disappoint. We have Philotron128, thumbs up. There's Favel, good to see you in the comments again. Hopefully you can fill me in on the details of what's going on. Larry from Space, I like the name, and thumbs up, thank you. Wellington Silva, thumbs up, and thank you much. Jesse Koskinen, good to see you in the comments. And that is it. 14 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thumbs up, thank you much. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only for a short time and if only in text. And of course, thank you for listening if you have listened or watched this far. Nobody forces you to, and I'm basically a nobody, so thank you if you have. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. So I'm going to try and get some stuff done today, but I got therapy today, so I generally never get much done on those days. We'll see what happens. Hopefully you can get done what you would like to get done, but don't beat yourself up if you can't. Survival mode is much more important. And with all the diseases out there, you don't need to get sick. Take care of yourself so that you don't get sick, you don't get others sick. It's just common courtesy. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.